Hello, so welcome to the next square in the 50 stitches crochet along, and this week we're going to be doing the thistle stitch. So it's called a thistle stitch because it just looks like the head of a thistle. So it's a lovely shell type stitch. This will look great on a shawl or something like that. So it's a lacy effect, but it's not overly holey, and it's just a lovely little stitch. So we're going to be using a 4.5mm hook, and we're going to start by chaining 32. I've just marked that last chain. Remember, our turning chain counts as a stitch. And then I'm going to double crochet in the 4th chain from a hook. Yeah. Right, I'm going to skip the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, and in this one stitch we're going to make 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Don't worry about this big gap, this will shrink as we go along the row. Okay, so now we're going to skip 2 stitches. 1, 2, and in the next 2 stitches we're going to make a double crochet. This is a really repetitive stitch, so once you get the pattern you can just crochet along storm. There we are. Okay, and I'm going to skip 2 and make 5 double crochet. So this 5 double crochet is the head of your thistle, and the 2 double crochet is the stem. One, 2, 3. I did that last double crochet wrong, didn't I? I made an extending one. Let's try that again. So 1, let's try again. Strangely, I always have trouble with bigger hooks. I can never work them as well as a smaller hook. Go. 1, 2, 3. What's going on here? 3, 4. One more. 5. Then we skip 2 and make a double crochet in the next 2 stitches. One and 2. Right. So now we're going to skip 2 stitches and make another 5 double crochet in the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip 2 stitches And then the next 2 stitches make a double crochet in each. Skip 2 and make another 5 double crochet. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and skip 2, and in the last 2 chains 2 double crochet. 1 and 2. So the next row is the same pattern, but we're just shifting it over. So we'll be making the 2 into the top of the thistle and the chain 5 into the 2 double crochet. And you'll start to see it come along. So I'm going to turn. There is a quirk to this stitch, which I'll show you in a second. So I'm going to make the alternate double crochet, so chain 1, and then single crochet on top of each other. And this counts as a stitch. I'm just going to pop a stitch marker in. Now the next 2, this is the going to do a part fan here, so the turning chain counts as the middle stitch, so we need to make 2 more stitches, but we're not going to make it into the same stitch. We're actually going to go between the 2 double crochet. So you're making it underneath those loops, right in between, and you're going to bring the loop up and do double crochet, and the same again in between those posts. Okay. Now we're going to make 2 double crochet, but again we're not going to go into these top loops, we're going in between the posts. So we're making it around the top of the stitches, and then the other double crochet goes on the other side of the middle stitch of the fan. We do this for all the stitches apart from that turning chain. Other than the turning chains, we're going to be working in between those stitches all across this stitch. So then we're going to make our 5 double crochet between those 2 stitches, 2 double crochet in row 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can see the thistle there. We got the 2 double crochet there. And that's created a nice gap for the head of your thistle. So then we're going to skip these 2 double crochet, and around the 3rd double crochet of the row below, in between the posts. So we're going in the post between the 2nd and 3rd double crochet of the fan. So 1, 2, in between there, make a double crochet, and then after that stitch as well, so after your 3rd stitch, between 3rd and 4th, make another double crochet. So you're making them on either side of that middle stitch of your thistle. And then back to the next 2. We're going to go in between again for 5 double crochet. and this is the pattern we're following for the entire stitch, the entire square. One, two, down, 3, 4, and 5. And then we need our next 2 double crochet. So 1, 2, after the second, before the third, in between those stitches, make a double crochet. And then after that stitch, so between the third and fourth, another double crochet. And then between those 2 double crochet, we make another 5. Two, 3, oops, 4, and 5. Back to the fan. So 1, 2, in between the second and third stitches of there, another double crochet, and then between the third and fourth, another double crochet. So we get to the end. We've now got our next set 2. Well, because we're coming to the end of the row, we're going to make 2 double crochet in between those stitches. And then the third double crochet we're going to make into the top of the turning chain. There we go. Oops, what's going on there? Just my stitch marker getting in the way. No, I've got too many. Oh dear. There we go. That's what's going on. Right, and then turn. And another alternate double turning chain. Try and make 2 tight. Come on. And this counts as a stitch as always. So I'm just going to pop that stitch marker in there instead. Okay. So you can see that's at the top of the fan, and we're going to count this as the first double crochet, and then we're going to make this next one in between those stitches as we did before. And then we carry on the pattern. So if you're ending and starting with the 2 double crochet, one will go in between the stitches and the other will go into the top of the turning chain. Okay, but that turning chain and that final stitch are the only times that you make a stitch into the loops at the top. Otherwise, all your stitches are made between the posts. Okay, I'll just go back to the original. So you can see how going in between makes these holes. That's how it gets its lacy effect. So it is slightly textured on top because of that pulling of the stitches, but I think that's a really pretty stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's 13 rows for this one. As you can tell, I forgot my count. So for the border, in rows 1, 4, 9 and 13, you will make 3 single crochet in the side of those rows. Every other row you make 2 single crochet in the side. Okay. Top and bottom. Top's nice and easy, just 1 single crochet across the top. The bottom, because you've got these gaps that we made, oops, sorry. So in between each set of 2 skip stitches, you make 2 single crochet, and then just make the others into the bottom of the stitches that are made. So there's a 2 skip stitches and 2 single crochet in there. And the bottom of the double crochet, you do 1 single crochet. Remember to add an extra stitch in the corner for your turn, and you'll have 124 stitches in total. And there we go, the thistle stitch. So I hope you enjoy that. As always, if you have any questions, please do come over to the Facebook group. Always happy to help any way that I can, and show us your finished squares. There'll be an album in the group. If we go to the photos and albums, there's an album there for your thistle stitch. And I will see you next time for the next stitch. Bye for now.